So for you guys who are keeping up with my YouTube, one of the videos I posted in my motivational section, which is labeled on the success, is I kind of talked about metrics. And one of the things about metrics, I actually talk about scaling you, but I also want to talk about not necessarily scaling here, but more so about what do you do, what metrics are you running in your business? Um, Metrics are important overall because it measures growth, it measures where your investment should be, um, uh, it measures um, where you are, where you want to be, and where you can go. Okay. Metrics can be anywhere from, income to profit to, it can be to uh, marketing, it could be to productivity, things of that sort. And one of the reasons why I want to talk about metrics, and especially if you watch the other video, is you'll notice that the one that's because it's something that's very important to me, very dear to me, because I think it's helped me tremendously in business. And two, I think it helps with just building a better business person. For my business women, my businessmen, I know a lot of people who want to go quickly set up LLCs and start running the numbers up. But I don't care what business you're on, I don't care if it's Amazon or trucks. That's the biggest thing now that I get a lot of calls from, or staffing. You need metrics. You need to know, what it costs. You need to know what's the income, what's the profit. So basically, you could tell how much time you need to dedicate on each one of them. So what are metrics? Metrics is something, as you can probably imagine, if you don't know, is measuring. Measure, measure where you were last year to this year. Measure where you were, last month compared to this month. Measure where you want to go, your goals, and how much you achieve. I know I do vision boards, which is a combination of both business and personal, and I find that work out very well for me. I definitely encourage people to do vision boards. But I guess the next natural question that you probably would ask is, how do you measure in business, especially for those who are self-employed? The best way to do that is the easiest way. And the easiest way would at least get you started. The more complicated way is probably going to get you to learn a system. And what I mean by learning a system, I'm talking about specifically, a software or an app or something where you got to learn how that works, so then you can integrate what you do and what you're trying to measure and put it into that app or that software. And which is, it's so much software, so many apps out there. You can go crazy with it for all your tech people out there. So the easiest way that I found is pen and paper. Be scrupulous with your notes. So when I say that, like, literally get a pen and paper and find out what it is that you're trying to measure. Are you trying to measure income? Are you trying to measure overall growth? Are you trying to measure profit? And then you work backwards. Okay, if you're trying to measure income, you say, okay, what's the best way to determine income? Calculate all the money that comes in. So whether you take credit card payments, you calculate credit card payments. Some people take Cash App, Venmo, ACH, monthly ACH, things of that sort. Calculate it all up. That's basic. But what you'll learn is, in regards to data, data is king. I know cash is king. Cash is king. Data is king too. The more information you take in, the better you're going to operate. So not only take the amount, but the times, the dates, of the of when you do it, because then it'll show you a couple of things. It'll show you what your pattern is in regards to the influx. So let's say if you're in a service industry, like let's say a coffee shop, and you say, okay, all right, you did good today. All right, that's good. What times of the day did you do good, right? So let's say you open up from 7 to 2, and you say at 7 you were dead. Then you got a rush at 7:45. You died off at 8:15. Then 8:45 you picked back up. 9:05 you died down. 11 o'clock picked back up. 12:30 died down. So what is they telling you? Those are your rush hours. So also it tells you, if you're looking at, if you're capturing the data and you're looking at the data, what it also is telling you is, uh, hey, you made $6 on a cappuccino at 70 something. You got 5 cappuccinos that day. And then, next week, you do this for a whole week, then you do it for another week, you do it for a whole month. Now you got a month worth of data that you can look at, and you can basically base your inventory that you're gonna keep in stock for you. Which, guess what, makes it easier on you in regards to not buying product that you never use, right? So, the things that I'm telling you is not something that, to just have something on YouTube. I'm trying to just really give you some valuable information, right? And I know a lot of people don't want to look at data. Well, one, people don't want to capture data, and two, people don't want to look at the data because it does take time. It takes you sitting down, taking dedicated time to look at and review, but then more importantly, come up with a plan, right? So if you're taking the caption, how much money how much money coming in, what times of the day you getting the money, and times of the week, and times of the month you getting it, because people get paid on first 15 or the first, or every Friday, things of that sort. So then that'll tell you about your staffing, how much staff you need to have in place. What's the drinks? What's the drinks you need to be training your staff on to service your clients better? Or same thing with food. So when I talk about metrics, I think the greats, that's what they're good at. They're good at capturing the data. They're good at analyzing the data. They're good at breaking down the data. From the first time they talk to the client to when the client pays, to the time the project is done. Hey, what's that timeline looking like? Also, metrics is a part of, like, hey, do your clients or customers like what you do? Did you switch something up and then, and you think it's the best thing since sliced bread, but it really is not. So the question to you is, hey, are you going to look at the data? Are you going to capture the data? Are you going to get the right data? And there's no wrong or right answer here, right? It's all about, hey, ramping up, and, hopefully if you want to scale or run your business more efficiently. One thing that I have noticed, I thought I needed all these people. I thought I needed all these things to run a successful law practice, but really I had to drill down onto things and say, okay, this is how I'm going to operate. This is how I'm going to make sure my clients are served. This is how I'm going to get a case resolved. I've learned to charge flat fees, because flat fees, for me, I don't necessarily have to keep up with the time of everything. And then two, you don't have to, you don't, it gives the client a sense of a reassurance, of like, hey, he's just not dragging this case out. Now that can come to bite you in the butt, because you have some clients who want to, because they paid the money up front, now they hound you. They feel like they own you. And now that you exhaust, let's say you charge $175 an hour as a lawyer, and let's say they paid you $1,000, and that's what, 8 hours worth of work. You've blown through that